Good morning, it's Kate here again. I think you'll remember this little image. It's Bella with balloons. I've coloured it previously, showing you how to colour the balloons, and I've also done a second clip to show you how to colour Bella herself. Obviously the little image needed using, so over a period of a week I created the background. The background, it's coloured in Copics to create a sky and cloud effect. So I'm going to show you how I did that today. I've not got an image to work around. I've just got my normal colouring paper. I've got a B91, which is a sketch marker, and my Zero blender. Because a sky area works on quite a big area, so that you can get a nice colour down on the paper, I'm going to use my blender to wet the paper just all over. So a quick layer of the blender, and it has to be a nice juicy blender to do this, and the actual technique that I'm going to show you could take 2 or 3 attempts to cover it. I did it over a few nights whilst working on other images to get the effect that I wanted. The reason I did this was because I wanted to, for my colouring class, find an easier way for the ladies in the class to create the cloud effect. So I don't know if you can see that. I've just wet the colouring paper all over. I'm going to take my B91 and I'm going to do the same, but tiny circles all over where I've wet the paper. Normally you'd be working around your image. You'd have to be very, very careful with the blender. Obviously if the blender pen hits the line of the image, whether it be digital or stamped, it will allow the colour that you're putting down to seep through the gap that you've made with the blender pen. There you go, just colouring down at the edge there, circles. So it does help if the pen's nice and juicy, a dry pen won't do this. You could use other different colours, probably B91, any of the sky colours that you think, your BO1, BO2, obviously the choice is yours and depending on the energy you've used. And then there we go with our base sky colour. Now taking your blender, and you're going to create clouds. So I'm just going to put some random clouds in with my blender, going over 2 or 3 times. You won't see much, it will turn slightly pink while the colour is being taken out, making general cloud shapes. Okay, do another one down here. You're taking the colour out, and what happens is that it pushes that colour away from the area that you're working, creating a cloud shape. Excuse me. I'll do a 3rd one down here. Now you might not see the full effect from today's video, but you'll get the idea of how to continue it. The best bet is to look at the sky on a regular basis. It changes every day, different colours, different types of clouds. There we go. So I've done 3 clouds there. I'm going to zoom in slightly, just so that you can, this could be fun. There we go. So I've got my base blue colour and my first, takeoff of colour from the blender. The cloud shapes, obviously you can create your own cloud shapes, are still slightly pinky, and if you look on the back you can see where you've taken the colour out, and you've got to wait for that to dry a little bit. And this is why I did this over a few days. Then you would go back in, you can see this lovely line around the outside that's created, and you can see inside some fluffy effect. just like you get with clouds, but you need to obviously make that a little bit whiter. So this is where you keep going within this sort of lines of that first one, taking more of that colour out. And again, the other ones. And for a while it will, continually look like a pinky shade because you're taking out the colour from the blue. But gradually, now and again, you might need to clean, obviously on your scrap paper, your blender nib. As you can see, 3 clouds starting to form, and you just keep going, and so letting it dry, and keep going and taking that colour out. And so mine I did over a few nights, and I'll show you the finished effect again. Here's the one that I've been working on. I just pushed that one out the way, and here's the one with the finished effect. So it did take a few nights. Nice working on it. Not very hard to do. You just have to be careful with the blender around the outside of your image. Hope that helps. See you again soon. Bye bye.